Let's create a budget. Let's get out of debt. Let's build wealth. Guys, welcome back to the channel. So I got this question just a couple of days ago, and I thought I would throw this in on this step-by-step series. So using multiple credit cards as a debt tool. So if you don't have a personal line of credit, you don't have a HELOC, and your only debt tool is a credit card, but you have multiple credit cards that you owe on. So this is going to be kind of a way that you can do this, and just knowing the power of credit cards and using them as a debt tool. If you watch the video I made on what is velocity banking, kind of had Jack and Jill here, and if you look, they both had the same amount of income of $3,500. And so Jack, exact same bills, exact same income. Jack has $1 left over. Jill also same income, exact same bills, $500. So you have two people that make the exact same, has the exact same amount of bills, and at the end of it, one has $1 left over, one has $500 left over. And how is that possible? Like you heard in a few of my past videos, is if you got to kind of treat your business or your income, your family paying bills and stuff as a business. See, when Jack, he does what most people do. He got paid, he came home, he paid his mortgage, then he paid his car, then he paid his utilities, he paid his insurance, and then he paid his credit card. Well, that total came out to be $3,499. And just going down the line like that, paying the bills, that's what ends up happening. Jill, however, when she went to pay her bills, she paid her mortgage, she paid her car, and then she paid the credit card, and then she used that credit card to pay the utilities and the insurance. So she ended up with $500. Now, yes, they both paid a total of $3,499, but because she paid the credit card first, so that credit card payment she used velocity banking. She used the same money twice. She used it once to pay the card, and then she took it out of the card to pay the utilities and the insurance. And that's what Jack failed to do. So the purpose of this video is to using multiple credit cards. So if we go back to our flow chart, right? The flow income goes into the checking account, into the line of credit, to the bad debt, to build. Once the debt's paid off, you'll use that debt to buy a asset which produces income, and just goes through the circle. So if everyday expenses come out, and then as far as the bad debt, you have 3 credit cards. Well, in this scenario, since you don't have a line of credit and you don't have a home equity line of credit, the credit card itself will become your debt tool. So what you're going to do is you're going to take, say, credit card 1, right? So we'll take credit card 1, and you'll use credit card 1 as your line of credit. So credit card 1 being used as your line of credit, and you're going to everything will funnel through this credit card. And what this is doing is, when that income goes into the checking account, it then, it'll keep the required amount. Anything left over after expenses and budget will funnel in through this credit card. So you're already saving here, because just like in that scenario with Jack and Jill, you're paying the credit card first, and then you're actually going to use this credit card to pay the utilities with it. And what's going to happen is this cash flow is going to stay in the credit card. So as you make that payment, the cash flow goes through the credit card, the cash flow will stay in, the utility and bills will come out. You no longer really think of it as a credit card, you think of it as the line of credit that you're using to pay your utilities. That's how a credit card can be used instead of a line of credit, because a line of credit, you could put everything into the line of credit. With the credit card, you have to separate what you could pay with cash and what you could pay with credit, and then you would pay everything with the credit. So you're funneling all that through there. Your cash flow is staying in. As your cash flow stays in, it's going to bring this credit card balance lower and lower. Eventually this credit card will be paid off. Once this credit card is paid off, it'll move back. Well, there won't be a balance, so it'll just be funneling through here. And then you would take the next credit card. You take the next credit card, and you're going to end up doing the same thing. You're just going to rinse and repeat. Now everything will be funneling through this card, and as it funnels through, the cash flow stays in. Cash flow stays in, bills come out. Cash flow stays in, bills come out. Eventually this credit card will bring that balance to zero. Once that balance becomes zero, you would take that credit card, it will come down here, and then so in a way this is kind of like, I guess you could kind of think of it kind of like debt snowball, in the fact that it will, once these two, you no longer have that balance, more and more will go in. Then you'll just replace it with credit card 3, and then you rinse and repeat. So credit cards, you just alternate them. You alternate until one's paid off, funnel it out, bring the next one in, alternate it again, run that cash flow through the credit card, pay the bills, leave the cash flow in, and then you just rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat. So guys, I hope this kind of clears it up a little bit as far as credit cards and using them. The thing is, when it really doesn't have to be that confusing when it comes to paying the bills. I mean, you basically, if you have this chart, you just follow what it says. I mean, if you're looking at this and you don't know what to do, well, your line of credit, right? Your line of credit is either it's some type of revolving tool that you can use, and there's really not that many options. I mean, you only have lines of credit, credit cards. You could possibly do a loan if you really knew what you were doing, but that's really all your options kind of come down to. So, don't get confused. Just basically bring up this chart, look at, okay, you categorize, right, your expenses. You got your budget, you got debt. So when you're looking at your debt, right, this credit card can kind of be put in different places. I mean, it could be an everyday expense, it could be budget, it could be debt. So if it's in this debt circle and you have no line of credit, then that's where it will go. If that credit card is paid off, then you no longer want to use that credit card. You're looking at the credit card like debt. You're using debt to beat debt, really. Once that's paid off, you take it out of the scenario. That card will be put away in a safe. It's no longer in play. So you would take your next one, and then you would bring your next one in, and basically you're just running the cash flow through the cards. It's kind of like chunking in a way, but you're chunking almost, it's like chunking on a month, like every time you get paid, technically it's like leaving the cash flow in. It's all it's doing. And then once it's done, those get out. Once these are out of play, your credit will be good enough to get a line of credit. Once you have a line of credit, then you won't need credit cards anymore, and then your line of credit will come here, and it will just be funneling through all the way to the good debt. So guys, if you have any questions on that, just leave comments below, and I'll appreciate a thumbs up if you found value in this video, and I'll see you on the next one.